We have Ken Wheeler on the show. So, Ken Wheeler, you are known as the bad boy of JavaScript. Did you know
So
that?
they say.
So they say. And you also said you could fix my mother's computer.
I can.
Okay, but what do you mean that you know what I mean?
You know what I mean.
No, what do you mean? My mother actually has a broken computer and would love you to come and fix it.
Maybe I should go over there.
Check it. Don't you go over there. He just all right, anyways. All right. That was super awkward. All right, so Ken, apparently you work at Wheeler Audio. What's this Wheeler Audio
That's right.
all about?
Yeah, so I make like VST plugins and stuff like that.
Can you explain what a VST is? You can't just drop an initialism like that, by the way. Notice I use initialism, not acronym. Super smart guy.
Yeah. So if you make beats and you're not using like a keyboard or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're using like a virtual thing, right? Like the virtual synths inside the computer, right? That's a VST plugin.
Okay.
Yeah, so things like effects or synths or things like that, right? That's what that is. And I started building them, so I set up this company to sell them. Working on an iOS app right now, and that sucks.
Yeah, that does sound like it sucks.
So that's also under that purview. But yeah, a lot like I like music a lot. So
all right, tell us a little bit more about this. Is it kind of like Sonic Pi? I assume you played with Sonic Pi, right? Like Sonic Pi is like this. Like you can put it on a Raspberry Pi. It's really simple language and it allows for like live coding. It's Ruby-like in syntax, and you can just say like, "Hey, play this synth wave at this pitch for this duration for this many beats," and then you can actually like live code it and change the beats as it goes. Put in a bunch of drums, all that.
No, so the first thing that I released was a thing called the plug, right? And what that was if you have like beats, right?
Yeah. By Dre.
And you made the beat, and no, if you like made beats, if you made like a beat or whatever, you put something together, and you want that to slap, then this is like a 3-knob deal, right? Where it takes like some standard like mastering effect type stuff, and it'll apply it at different intensities. You can just turn the knobs until everything sounds dank, right? That's the first one. Okay. The other thing I'm working on right now is a drum machine for iOS. I can't always be here with all my equipment.
Yeah.
So if I'm not present and inspiration hits, all the current ones suck.
Yeah.
Koala's all right, but most of them suck. So I just said, okay, I'm just going to build one because I'm tired of sitting there in a hotel room and like wanting, like hearing a sample and then not being able to be actionable.
Wow, man, that actually sounds awesome. Will the drum machine work on Linux?
No, it's mobile only.
It's mobile only.
That's right.
Laptops are mobile.
I mean, I suppose you could like do like a Mac OS compilation of it.
This hurts me. This hurts my feelings. I do have to ask one question, okay? Because I've noticed that you're talking, you gesticulate with your hands. And is that a Versace robe I'm seeing right now?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know what? You're the second person in the last 12 hours to show me a Versace robe.
Really?
Yeah. Both men, both with mustaches.
I hope he's on the other side of the country. I don't know if there's enough to go around out here.
I don't know where he's at, but it was very, very robed and very Versace last night. And now look at it. I get it in the morning as well. So how did you land on the Versace robe specifically for this podcast?
Oh, it was on that couch over there.
Yeah.
And I put on this jersey.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if it was appropriate to show shoulders or not. So I just said, maybe let's cover this up.
Yeah.
Not get the...
You wanted to show off how much fitness you do?
Well, no. I wanted to cover up how much fitness I do. I wanted to keep this about the code.
Okay.
Not just about these sexy shoulders the entire time.
I get that. You don't want to. We can't just be focusing on your body, okay? You're more than just a
Yeah,
body, Kenneth. This is ridiculous.
that's right. So I
just cover it up. Jeez,
just cover.
I'm feeling like I'm already objectifying you.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's natural.
It's an all natural. Hold on, I forgot to do this. To let everyone know, Devour Podcast is going on. Give me 1 second. Devour Podcast. Let's see, 2. Ken Wheeler. Do you prefer Kenneth or Ken?
Ken.
Ken?
I guess, yeah, Ken. People call me Kenny. You can
Anything
call me Kenny
else?
if you want.
What else do people call you?
K-Dub, a CAD.
What was that last one? A CAD, like CAD, as in like
yeah, like a CAD,
computer assisted,
like Turbo CAD.
I don't even know. But
like the old school CAD, like a dishonorable fellow.
I've never heard that term before. Are you speaking some sort of old English? They say people from Virginia actually have the original English accent.
Really?
Yeah, and you're very close to Virginia. You live in Jersey, right?
I'm like 8 hours away from Virginia.
Okay, but that's only like 5 miles on the East Coast?
No. I'm like an hour out of New York.
Okay, so that's like 7 miles? How many miles are we talking? Because you keep saying time and I'm saying distances. I feel like we're missing.
That's the thing. It's not like as the crow flies, it's like 20 minutes, but
yeah, see, I was right.
Around, yeah.
As the stone's thrown, it's like 20 minutes. Okay, but you have to like just sit in traffic for 8 hours. That seems terrible.
Yeah. Well, here's the play.
Yeah.
You drive up to the train station and take that in.
Got to run a train on that, Virginia.
That's right. No, I don't know how to get. If you want to get to Virginia, you just got to drive. Stop at Waffle House on the way down.
Sounds terrible.
But New York, you have options. You can get on a bus. There's a ferry.
Ferry.
You can drink on the ferry.
You can drink on the ferry? Isn't that public
intoxication? Only on the way home.
How do they know that you're going home?
On the ferry.
Do you have to be like, I swear, Your Honor, I'm on my way home? Well, what happened if you travel there? What happened if you spent the night on the wrong side of the ferry and then traveled home in the morning?
So I don't think it's destination, it's time of day.
Okay.
Right. So the ferry is, in the morning, it's all like Wall Street Journal and biscuits and shit like that.
Okay.
And then, you get like the 4 or 5 o'clock ferry and they serve drinks. One time I'm sitting there and I asked the guy, I said, let me get a vodka double, right? So he fills a plastic cup to the brim with vodka, right? Like, I'm like, oh my God. So I drink it and I'm trashed on this boat, right? And the boat started hitting like turbulence or whatever you would call it, the ocean turbulence. And some dude spills coffee all over himself, right? And I'm all fucked up and I start laughing at him and he looks so hurt. And I was like, I'm sorry. I just drank an entire like solo cup of vodka. Like,
you had a man scalding to death and you're laughing at him?
Well, it was
okay, like, I'm drunk. It's okay.
It was like the GIF where he's like, it's just...
That is terrible.
I was too drunk not to laugh at that, so I felt kind of bad. But what are you gonna do?
All right, so obviously you spend a lot of time drinking and being on ferries, and so that's why you're doing this whole Wheeler audio business, is so that you can program your way into when inspiration strikes, such as after the man spills scalding coffee on his crotch. Like that probably inspired a beat for you in that moment. So what do you write it in? What's the language of choice? I don't even know how these things work. I think iOS is all just Swift and Objective-C.
Yeah, so iOS is that's a Swift UI dealio. For like the other plugins, right? It's C++, but it's through a framework called Juice, Juice, and
Juice
that gives you some like a harness and all the building and all that business.
You've said a lot of words I understand, but I don't really understand when you put them all together that way. So okay.
So Juice is like if you like want to write this, right, it give you like your UI primitives, but at the same time like gives you a bunch of like framework stuff, like hooking into like sound card access, that kind of thing. Like you get like I don't have to sit, like if it loads up in Ableton, you have like host binding, so like you get your input, but I don't have to like actually ask Ableton. Like it's just kind of like,
okay, so it kind of abstracts it away, so you don't really care about the underlying audio interface. You can just program what you want.
You're just building the business.
Oh, business time. I
Yeah,
like
just
that.
pure business time. No,
Okay, so you're
no
writing C++.
fucking around.
I thought you were a JavaScript soy dev. What happened?
I write everything
You're the bad boy of JavaScript. Why are you writing all this C++?
because audio DSP, right? Like if you want to do
Digital
like audio
Sound
stuff,
Paradise. What does DSP stand
signal
for?
processing.
Digital signal processing. That makes more sense. And
Yeah.
now that you say that out
Yeah,
loud, I'm makes
so
sense.
it's like yeah, you get the runtime, right? Like in the and it's a pretty like cross-platform. Like if you want to build it for different, like if you want to make music on Windows, I want to make music on Mac, right? So that works, but it's also fast, which is important.
Okay.
Um, I've written like not harnessed into the audio workstation VSTs in the browser before with audio worklets, and that was almost fast enough.
So does it
That
get?
was
Do you
pretty
get like
good.
sound pops? Is that what you mean by not fast enough? As it's not feeding the audio fast enough?
No, 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 no. Like that's historically how it's gone. Like with using like web audio,
Yeah.
historically you got little pops and shit, and it's a little off.
I'm writing a
Um,
sound driver right now. I know all about this. I
yeah.
was
Have you
nothing
have
but
you fucked
pops.
with audio worklet?
No, I'm writing ALSA straight up. You may
Oh,
have heard of
okay.
ALSA. It's on Linux, your unsupported platform. You could have
Yeah, no, I
a
don't use Linux.
dream beat maker right here. And now look at me. I'm going to be homeless
Yeah.
instead.
Are you telling me this is going to be the year of the Linux desktop?
It is. I kid you not. All I have to do is open up NVIDIA, rotate my monitor to the left, and almost 95% of the time it fixes my sound issues.
Nice.
Yeah. It's the year of the Linux laptop or desktop, really.
So is that because of a resolution thing when it goes into vertical?
I actually have no idea. All I know is one day I couldn't get my sound to fix. I gave up and I just unplugged one of my devices and I was super sad. And then I went, I'm going to try 4K out. Let's see how 4K looks on this monitor. And then my audio started working. And I was like, what? And so then I started playing with it. And it turns out every time my audio breaks, if I change my resolution or rotate my monitor, works first try.
Huh.
Every try. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Who would have guessed NVIDIA, best audio driver out there?
I've had a lot of issues like that where it'll I was sitting there and I was getting feedback that the shit was slow, and I'm like, shit is not slow. And they're like, it's slow. And then it turned out, I guess Chrome was using the dedicated graphic, the dedicated GPU instead of the NVIDIA. And we had to like force the NVIDIA.
That's funny.
And that was the fix. Yeah.
It's also not funny. That's actually not funny at all.
Yeah, it's devastating.
It's actually emotionally hard for me to process the fact that you had to change what video driver you're using to fix your audio.
Oh no, this was to fix Canvas.
Oh, Canvas, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Canvas is terrible. All right, so you've actually done a lot of JavaScript as well, right? So like you're familiar with the soy
primarily
latte.
so.
Primarily so.
Yeah.
I thought you were, a polyamorous language guy. Is that the term
Well,
they use?
am.
Do they use that term?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, there is a word.
Okay, go on.
What is the word? What is the word for that?
I know the word. I'm just not going to tell you.
Oh, a polyglot. That's the word. That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
It's polylingual, actually.
Language polyamory.
Yeah, it is polylingual. That's a little inappropriate. Okay, get with the times.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
All right, so so you actually primarily do JavaScript.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that. Have you built anything with sound? Because I swear you linked me something where you were building something with sound or signal processing in JavaScript.
Yeah, I've done a ton of stuff with music and JavaScript.
Is JavaScript remotely fast enough to be able to do that type of stuff? All right, really?
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't historically been. It's been like, playing games, right? But audio worklet made it fast enough.
Wow.
So you kind of get these little threaded like audio nodes.
Okay. So it works. I assume it's Node then? You're running it in Node, right?
No, it's in the browser.
Oh. That's impressive. I mean, I'm impressed. I mean, I know Chrome takes up like 85% of all my computer. So it's not surprising me that there's just a couple more threads for audio.
Yeah, no. Once you throw it on that thread, everything seems to work a lot better. They used to have this thing called Create Script Processor way back when.
Yeah, I know.
And that was the thing where you got all the pops and clicks.
Ugh. Is that because they were streaming in audio and it just wasn't that's what happening? This early web days? How early was this that you're getting pops and crackles and all that?
Like 2 years ago.
Is that before HTML5?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No, audio worklet's really new. Like that's probably not even in most browsers.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that. Okay, well that's actually. I mean,
what is HTML5? Is it like a side?
I don't actually know what they are. I know that CSS is on 3 something and HTML is on 5. You know the Security Exchange Commission. Have you heard of them?
Yes.
Yeah, the SEC. Yeah. So many years back, they decided they're going to be super hip. And are you doing drugs on this podcast?
No, it's a jewel. It's a jewel.
Are you?
And there's going to be more of that,
sir. So anyways, so they decided they're going to be really like with the program, and they were going to adopt modern web technologies. And so they created something called XBRL, which actually used HTML, but I think it was like HTML2. And then, of course, classic government standard, never changed it. Now there's entire companies built around building ways to browse HTML that can no longer like work. And so that's what I worked at a company that did that. XBRL. It's pretty fun, huh?
Legacy HTML viewers.
Yeah. It's like a real thing.
I miss Flash. I loved Flash.
You loved Flash?
Oh my God, I love Flash
But
so
did you
much.
like Newgrounds?
Yes.
Okay. Not many people know about Newgrounds. I'm pretty sure I said that, and half the people are like, what the hell's Newgrounds?
But do you remember Too Advanced?
I don't know if I remember Too Advanced.
Remember that shit with the pyramid? Like
no.
the site, it would be like, and then it would like fade in. It'd be like, right? It was crazy. It was like,
I don't remember any of this. But Flash was the day. I loved Flash back in the day. That was actually a lot of fun. You didn't even have to be a programmer, and you could make like things.
Yeah, you can make the sickest things. And if you were a programmer, you can make even sicker things. That's how I got started. I was like making like websites for restaurants locally in Flash. They want like, and it was actually really funny because they wanted me to make like the music for it too.
Oh no! Don't tell me restaurants had their own custom beat.
They had their own custom beat. They were like, yeah, they're like, I'm like, well, there's royalty concerns. However, for an additional charge, I could make it for you.
You're like, I
we're
have
a tapas restaurant, so I'm like, dun, 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 dun. It was like a step ahead of MIDI. It was fantastic.
That is beautiful.
Like, you get like a cool like loading thing.
As it downloaded the assets from GeoCities or wherever it was stored at.
Yeah, it like downloads like 3 megabytes. It takes like 2.5 minutes, and then virtual curtains part. Menu comes in. It looks like an old scroll,
burnt along the edges.
That's right. Yeah.
Dang. Those
mouse over something.
Oof. I feel like people just don't have that same appreciation for the web like we had back in the Flash days. I mean, you could make anything you wanted, and everybody was willing to wait like 2 minutes for it to load because it was going to be glorious or one of the biggest disappointments in your life. And that was so much fun.
Getting FaceTime called now. Yeah, I've always said that, like there's a lot of like concern about like load time performance, but if somebody actually wants what you're selling, they'll wait.
Yeah, they're gonna wait. Except Amazon did do a study saying, what was it, like every 10 milliseconds page loads is like $1 million revenue or some nonsense at one point was.
It has impact on conversion rates. You're right.
Yeah,
but I feel like
who needs conversion rates?
Listen, you put a 10-second loading spinner on Pornhub. Let's see how many people split.
I mean, I'm not gonna argue that one. All right, I guess that you're probably, I don't think there's gonna be an exhaustive study on that one, but you're probably not incorrect. All right, so
you remember Candy Stand?
No. What's Candy Stand?
Candy Stand used to have like all these little Flash games, right? And I remember like I don't know, some like study hall or recess or something, right? We used to get access to the computers and we used to go on Candy Stand. There'd be this baseball.
You're a bunch of kids going to the Candy Stand? That sounds like some sort of child predator site.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It does. You're like, oh, we're just a bunch of kids going to the Candy Stand.
Yeah, no, Candy Stand, like they'd have like advertisements for candy, and that's how they funded these Flash games that were free. Like, sure could go for some M&Ms.
This seems like some sort of advertisement nightmare for. Didn't like the FCC or someone get in about what you can and can't do when it comes to advertising for kids? That has to be against the law at this point.
No, they still very much do it.
Oh.
Yeah, my I guess like my kids get the YouTube ads. Like,
They
I
get
want
the
this.
YouTube ads. Are you? I thought you turned off YouTube.
I did.
I read your tweet that you turned off the domain effectively. You blocked the domain for YouTube and TikTok, which, by the way, TikTok I fully agree with.
Yeah. So I did, and they found a loophole, and the loophole is their mom's phone.
Because
So if they
it's
can get
not
their
on the
mitts,
internet. It's not on your Wi-Fi. It's just getting all
well,
them 5G units.
no, I just didn't turn hers off. Just so you know, I'm not gonna turn off my wife's YouTube.
Why not?
But I don't know. What if she needs to like look something up? Like,
just turn off your wife.
I use YouTube like usefully all the time. I'm like, how to install a dishwasher.
You install. Okay, well, I assume you installed a dishwasher recently. I don't go on YouTube to learn things. I go on there to watch. Anyways, that's enough. We don't need to talk about YouTube.
You do streams and twitching, right?
Yeah. I stream. I Twitch. I make YouTube videos.
Okay, so I never really got into all that. Now, so people come and they watch you code.
Yeah. First off, I'm the interviewer. You're the interviewee. Okay. We're not here to we're not here to talk about my amazing and incredible ability to code in front of people at a high rate while focusing on chat and complimenting my beautiful wife while doing it in Vim.
It's magnificent.
Yeah, it is magnificent. I mean, I personally be impressed, personally. I mean, I understand if you're not impressed, just because you probably don't even believe it's real.
I think I need to see it, right? Because I heard about Twitch and I heard about people watching other people playing video games. And when I was a kid, I used to hate watching I'd sit there and be like, pass the controller, right? We was getting like fist fights over it.
I did, but we had the NES. Like, it was way different.
It was a different setup.
Yeah, because your older brother would come in and they'd be like, I'm going to play a few rounds of Battletoad. And then you watch him die over and over again, despite you being able to beat level 3 and he can't. And then you have to sit there and watch this painful process of someone hitting the same thing over and over again. The same damn Goomba kills the same. Oh my goodness, it drove me nuts.
He'd lose, blame it on you. He'd be like, stop talking. No. You're like,
look at his controller. What happened? It's the same people that when they're playing some sort of racket sport, look at their racket after they miss, as if there's something going wrong in this region.
Something wrong here with this racket.
Damn it!
But people do this.
People do this. All right, so you've been around for quite some time doing web. When did you get started? When was like your web introduction? Like the real, we're not talking about Flash. We're talking about JavaScript and all of its pain that's associated with it. When did you get started?
So when I was working at that Flash place, right? We would do certain sites, and then that was cool. And we would do them in like PHP, but like not that much.
Yeah.
And then Steve Jobs killed Flash.
He did.
And
personally,
when that happened, yeah, personally. And then when that happened, I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to write this in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So there was jQuery, right? And I was like, well,
those are good days.
You can make something go up and down or whatever, a little funny animation kind of thing. I'm like, okay, fair enough. So started doing that, started redoing all the sites and that and WordPress, PHP, and all that fun stuff. And then I switched jobs and I worked at a place that made like fashion websites, right? So I made like the website for like Tom Ford or whatever they, but like all like New York fashion design kind of characters, right? I'd make all the websites for. And a lot of it was jQuery. And then I wrote a reasonably popular jQuery library for image carousels.
What was it called?
Slick Carousel.
You said that with such a calm demeanor. It actually, I almost don't even trust you. You wrote Slick Carousel? I think I used Slick Carousel.
Yeah, I did write that.
You wrote that?
And that I did. And that was like that was the intro to like more big time JavaScript, right? Because as soon as that was written, right, like I'm on like Twitter, I'm on GitHub, it's not just like showing up and leaving. It was like
Yeah.
really, really, really out here scripting.
You're really out there building some open
Publicly.
source for people, and people love it. And
That's
back then,
right.
jQuery was hot, right? Everybody
Oh
did
man,
jQuery, dude. I had jQuery. I knew all the jQuery.
I was really into it too. Like
Yeah.
when I was first like an open source maintainer, I was like, let's be really helpful and solve all these people's problems for free in the middle of the night and shit. Like,
What happened?
people yell at you and they're ungrateful.
And that's why open source is terrible.
Yeah, I was a nice boy before open source.
So you were actually the good boy of JavaScript not too many years ago.
I was. Mm-hmm.
And open source made you the bad boy of JavaScript.
Yes, it did.
So you would have just fixed my mom's computer back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to know what you mean.
Now you have to know what I mean.
That's
the computer. I mean, the computer will literally still get fixed.
It'll still get fixed. Well, that's pretty nice of you.
Yeah.
But so tell me about this. What is like some of the worst things that happen? Because I've had not very many open source conundrums. Granted, Polar Mutex takes care of all of my open source, and I actually just build something and then hand it off. But tell me what are some of the horror stories of open source?
Well, you have a lot of scenarios where people are just entitled, right?
Yeah.
Like people will be like, when will this be fixed? And I'll be like, when I get to it, right?
Yeah.
And then, you just have a lot of scenarios where people they'll like threaten you. Well, if you're not going to fix this, then I don't think I can use this anymore. And I'm like, oh no, I'm going to go out of business.
All this free time I've done, it's going to cost me
goodness.
Everything.
And they'd make like justifications like, that because they used it, they were, like de facto customers and, I was obligated to them. That kind of thing.
Weird.
So yeah, like before I did open source professionally, like getting paid to do it, you should have seen my repos. I'm sitting there typing in GitHub. I'm like, I will fight you, like cursing at people, telling me, I'm like, come to New Jersey. Here's the address. Like, just because, like, I'm not gonna let these nerds talk to me like this. You kidding me?
Yeah.
And it's funny. It's different, right? Because like half the time, it's somebody who's like the absolute worst person ever.
Yeah.
And half the time, it's like a missed in translation thing, right? So like people like English as a second language, a lot of the time they'll be like terse.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It comes across rude, but it's just terse. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, and I'm like,
why didn't you fix this? Like, you're like,
yeah.
Wow, that's very
extraordinarily forward.
That's very
so they'd be like that, but a lot of the time people would be like very directly the worst.
just straight up terrible.
Yeah.
I've always heard these stories. I've always been curious about it because I mean you see people blow up on open source too, right? There's the guy that did something with the colors JS or whatever and broke like the universe for people. And I've heard people lose their damn mind over over open source. I'm always curious about that because people say, well, why aren't you doing this or why aren't you doing that? And I'm always just like, I don't care. I'm just not even gonna answer this.
It's good. It's like it's a nice way to like get into like conferences and get like in a network and this and this and that. But at the same time, it's taxing. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
What's up? Huh?
Kiddo left the room. Nope. See, Kiddo needs something. Okay. I know. I thought so.
Yeah. Go in there.
Puddle incoming. Are we having troubles?
Yeah. Yep. I got my little bud here.
Yeah. That's pretty sweet. All right, so you did the open source thing. So it does sound like you did a lot of like, is that consulting work? I've never done consulting work. I have no idea what it entails, but because you like build stuff for restaurants, for fashion, that's considered the consulting world, right?
Yeah. No, I did primarily consulting up until recently.
Really? What is that?
Yeah.
What is that? Because in my head, how I imagine consulting is that You're effectively given a project. You have to find the shortest possible path from A to B to get it done as quickly as possible. And there's deadlines and stakeholders have unreasonable expectations. That's in my head is what it is.
No, I don't think so. I think you define a scope of work and you do it. And then,
Just that simple.
If there's anything beyond that, right? You define a new scope of work.
Wow. Okay. I should try this at my job.
Can you give me about 30 seconds?
Yeah, I can give you like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I can hear the terror. He turned off his.
What's up, baby?
He turned off his video, not his sound. Beep beep boo boo break. Yeah. I'll turn him down for him. So just in case. There we go. We'll turn it down for him. So now he won't. Just in case he's like, not now, damn it. Ken, he's helping the kid. Oh my goodness. Wouldn't describe my consulting work that positively. I know, I'm always very curious about this whole consulting thing. The more senior you are, the less shit people tend to give you. Is that true? I feel like I get more shit. Right? Depends on the client. We're consultants. Yeah, all the shit. Yeah, it's annoying at times. Yeah, I feel like the shit goes uphill in coding. That's the opposite of how corporate then. Yeah, I feel like it goes just like back up the hill. The more experience you get, the better the clients you can attract. Yeah, that's probably. This guy literally has my life. Really? What is this? Not basically. Yeah, great. I contract and work on the contract or else pay you. Yeah, more to stop. Interesting. This is just not my life. You-wee! Thanks for the follow. Also, let's see. Weird. I also consult with her. Owned. I have worked for 4 years as a consultant. I actually think you earn a lot of that. Most of the work is about building trustness with the client. Trustfulness. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess if the client trusts you more, you probably have a better relationship. The more things you've done with an individual client, it's kind of like working in a professional job, right? My boss kind of trusts me in general. Oh, hold on, Ken. I turned you down just because you left your mic super hot. Super hot, baby.
No, that's how we do things.
There we go. I have you at volume percentage 69.
Nice.
I know. I'm pretty proud of that.
But yeah, the consulting thing, dude. Yeah, it's not really a rush job. I mean, you want to get it done, right? And it depends, right? Like if you scope it, if it's a fixed price thing, you say I'm going to take it from point A to point B for $20,000, right? Then then maybe you're shooting for the clock, right?
Yeah.
But if it's more of like a retainer type thing, not the case.
Interesting. So they're paying you to just kind of do some basic upgrading, maintenance, that kind of stuff, pushing it along slowly, and so therefore it's just an easier relationship.
A lot of the time I've done it, it's been architectural.
Really? Like you've made large changes, but they just hire you for some amount of time?
No, I've built like whole things, whole entire things, and
The
then
whole thing?
kind of work with or help form like internal teams at places. Because
that'd be fun.
like companies having internal tech teams is a very new thing.
Yeah, that's probably not going to stop either. Probably going to get worse.
Yeah. So previously, like they would just hire people on contract. And then they started like I've sat there and like done interviews. I've interviewed people to work at companies that I wasn't working at.
You're like a dev engineering consultant.
Yeah.
Dev culture consultant.
Well, yeah, like you'd build stuff, you do internal trainings, you hire people. Yeah. So it's not like it's not all A to B contracts in consulting.
Interesting. That is not. I guess I wouldn't have. I just would not have thought that. I don't know. I guess I have a weird perception.
You've been product the whole time?
I've been product pretty much my entire life. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I know, right? Consulting sounds wild.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, it's fun because you get to switch what you're working on pretty often.
Yeah, maybe I could like that. You know, maybe I don't know. I don't know. It's not because like I also like going deep. All right, it's hard to go deep with speed.
You need to put that on a fucking t-shirt, dude.
It's hard to go deep.
Neon letters and shit.
Like 80s coloring with the triangles.
Yeah. Deep with speed.
It's hard. I'm just saying.
No, it is. No, it is. It is, right? You're not going to have like that kind of, but sometimes you do.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes you're allotted the time to go deep.
Okay. That's good. Because I like that.
Maybe not as deep as you go.
I'm not really I don't like to just the tip of my experience and abilities in. I like to, I really do want the full
depth,
girth of ability applied. Oh no, this is terrible.
It's the mark of a professional.
It's the mark of a professional. All right, so we should get into something a little bit more spicy. Enough of this depth and girth business. Though that is some very common named variables that I use in programming. I feel like girth is an underutilized variable name. I still don't know what girth units are in. I assume it's some sort of squared unit.
One time in an interview, I swapped out breadth for girth, like accidentally.
Wait, how did you get girth and breadth incorrect? This is a girth first search?
Yeah. We're kind of like beating around the bush for girth. Yeah, I said girth when I meant to say breadth. They're like girth, as if that's the only application of the word girth.
Oh no!
Like a cupcake can't be moist.
Cupcakes are preferably moist. Have you ever had a dry ass cupcake?
Agreed.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
You want that dank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Moist.
Yeah, moist. I use the term moist. I don't think it's a problematic word.
Yeah, no, a lot of people moist.
There's a contest among some people where I'm at right now to see who's the first person that can say the term moist on live television. Because we have like the news reporters and stuff that walk around the town and let's get the word on the street. And so whoever's the first person that can be the word on the street that also works in the word moist is the winner. No? Okay.
Just may the best man win.
May the best man moist. But let's get into something a little bit hotter. You know what?
Sure.
Let's get into something. So you have some strong opinions about particular open source frameworks or libraries. I literally don't think I don't actually even know how to use those terms anymore. They've become so convoluted I can't tell when a library starts and when a framework ends. But you have some opinions. How do you feel about modern JavaScript? Let's just start with modern JavaScript, and we can go and we'll see where it takes us. What are some of your thoughts on it?
I think it's good.
You think it's good?
I do. I mean, there's a lot of things that I do like. And it's funny. Like I'll see things that have been out for 6 months that I didn't even hear about. Like, have you heard about structured clone?
I heard this term structured clone just like 2 days ago. It's an actual method that's available now, right? Like on the window object, there's structured clone. But I don't know what it does. I saw that and I was like, huh, what is that?
It'll do a clone.
Deep?
Deep.
It's a deep clone.
A deep clone. Efficiently deep clone.
No,
because like, one of the things that bothers me about modern JavaScript is just spread city.
Yeah, spread city.
Right? Just
object copy universe.
Just spread ridiculous, right?
It is.
And structured clone does a really nice job of that.
No, so is spreading the problem you don't like, or is it just like what bothers you about spread city? Wow. I think I'm supposed to growl.
No, it's so yeah. So there's like this people want A, they want their code pretty, B, they want their code terse.
Yeah.
Right? So you'll see people gravitating towards all these spread setups and everything. And what you don't see is a lot of awareness of that creating a new object,
Only
right?
partially too, right? It's only on the keys level. It doesn't, the properties could actually very well be the same thing.
Yeah. So it's just a lot of GC for the code to be pretty.
Yeah.
Um, so the structured clone I really like a lot. I was like, huh. And there's other stuff, right? Like I don't really use maps with that much frequency, but I do use sets a lot. I like
Yeah.
those.
Why do you like sets? Tell me about this because I rarely ever have a use for sets.
Dedupe
That's it. How often are you deduping?
a lot.
What are you deduping?
All kinds of things.
Are you memoizing? Is that what's happening here?
No, just deduping. I do memo-wise.
Okay. You're known to memoize from time to time.
Yeah,
I'd assume a
but
set is good for memoization.
perhaps. I do. I mean, I probably should use maps for like indexes or like lookup tables, but I usually just use objects for that.
Yeah.
The old
Is
the
there
old
is there a big difference?
reduceroo.
Do you know what if is a map a hash map underneath the hood or is it a B tree still?
I'm not actually sure, and I don't use them that much because they're not serializable.
They're not. Wait, you can't. Is JSON decode it or encode it?
Mm,
I assume they're
I
serializable.
don't think so.
You're the one doing the serialization.
Yeah, like a big int kind of thing.
Yeah, classic, really.
Yeah, where you have to implement your own stringify.
It's convenience though. It's for convenience.
Yeah, too much fun.
Just I just want to build my own stringification for numbers. I think it's pretty reasonable.
You do this?
No, not at all. That sounds
Oh, okay.
terrible.
Yeah,
That sounds
I was gonna
awful.
say it is awful.
Ugh. All right.
It's terrible.
Why would we have to do that? JavaScript definitely has some bad things. So let's keep on going on this. So you like the sets. You don't like spreads. What
I
else?
like spreads.
You like
Use
spread
sparingly.
a sparingly spread.
Yeah.
How do you feel? So what else are we talking here? Give me some more things here.
Well, things that I like in modern JavaScript.
How about opinions? Are there
Oh,
opinions you love or hate? What about
oh,
the class
opinions.
versus functions? How do you feel about those?
Um, which functions?
Well, people try to effectively always avoid classes, and
I don't see
often
anything wrong with classes.
they hobble together a function plus a closure and avoid a class, but they've, you know,
And they do it all arrow function too, so
yeah,
it doesn't
dude.
show up in stack traces.
Yeah, I think V8 recently fixed that.
Really?
Sometimes, yeah, some of the times they have fixed that. Only
Yeah, I
some
remember
though.
a lot of shenanigans a couple years ago with arrow functions.
It was really painful. You get a stack exception and just be anonymous functions for days, and then right at the top it's like render, and you're like, okay, so we're gonna start at
I
render.
have no problem with classes.
Okay, it sounds like you've done some C++ recently, is what it sounds like.
No, I just remember when React was classes,
Yeah,
and I liked that.
you like that? You're a bigger fan.
I don't know about a bigger fan, but I liked classes.
Why?
Some um a multitude of reasons.
Start
It
with
made
one.
instance variables were a
Okay,
lot easier
so you'd
at the
prefer
time.
instance variables over use state is effectively what you're saying, right?
Well, no, you'd use set state instead of use state. Like if you're gonna put something on an instance in hooks, that's got to be a use ref now.
I thought use state was kind of like a I have no idea. You got to educate me on this one because I played around a little bit with hooks. I don't know a ton about it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah, educate me.
um, state in a React component, regardless of which one you're doing, if you set it right, that's gonna trigger a render,
Correct. Yeah.
right? So your state changing is directly related to re-rendering your component.
Which I think makes sense. That makes sense to me, at least.
So you don't always want to re-render your component.
Right. Some state is not. It does not need to
It's just
trigger. Yeah.
not actionable from a render perspective, right? Like if you want to store like a interval handler or something like that, right? Or an index or something,
Yeah.
whatever,
Some bookkeeping, if you will.
any old thing.
Yeah. You name it.
You would put it. You'd say, this dot. Call it a
Thing.
day.
Yeah.
Now you're sitting here, use ref. Everything is dot current. Do you know about dot current?
No, I don't know what dot current is.
So when you have
I'm a
when you have a
caveman.
ref,
Yeah.
yeah. So when you have a ref in React, in order to access it, it's not just like ref dot id. It's ref dot current dot id.
Is that because they're trying to handle some sort of bookkeeping, or is there why current?
I guess it's to get the latest value, like current's a getter or something. I don't know. But
what's problematic about it? What don't you like about that? Besides, okay, so let's pretend like the current could go away, and you could have it. It could look more like that. Why else wouldn't you want to do that, or why else do you not like it?
Like what? Refs?
Yeah, just this kind of whole notion.
Oh, just because I don't really know what's going on in there, right? Like if we just had like functions, right? Like if it was just functions, right? You could do a lot of stuff with closures, go to town. But that's not always how it's kind of read.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to use the ref. Basically all my issues come back to like weird like closure issues, right? Closures and dependencies and the invalidation and such. So much time, and it's just so much time wasted with that shit. And it's now it used to be like, oh, why isn't my thing updating, or why is it updating too much? Whereas more recently it's been like more like with more complex components, like race conditioning type shit.
Interesting.
Right?
I've
Like
never
trying to figure out the order.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be. I'm not a big fan of figuring out the order, especially in JavaScript, which fundamentally should rarely ever have this issue because it's only ever single executing. It always feels painful when people are running into these type of issues because it's like, why? How did this happen? How did you get yourself in such a problem that your single execution is racing for data?
Yeah. The classes stuff was pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Yeah,
at the time.
it is pretty straightforward. I've recently read that useEffect now executes twice in strict mode.
I think it has for a while.
Okay. That sounds kind of crazy, right? Because I always thought useEffect was for mimicking on mount if you do empty dependencies, and you would never like program against mounting twice.
No. I think that if you do empty dependencies, like it acts like a mount would, but effects anyway. It's really just something that runs in response to something in the dependencies changing. So you'd have an effect driven off of one of these things changing.
Yeah.
So that's I forget why they said they run it twice to like simulate or suss out issues. I think that's what Dan was saying. It's like running it twice susses out issues early rather than in prod or something like that.
I never quite understood that.
I don't understand because it's so much magic now that like it's gone past my understanding of what exactly is going on there.
Yeah.
Right. Like when it was classes, right? I was like, okay, I kind of get what's going on here, right? I have a pretty good idea of how the machine works underneath. Now it's kind of like, huh?
Yeah, so, no, I understand that. It's definitely gotten into a much different world at this point, and I don't quite. I feel like the performance of it seems very questionable. I've never played enough with the hooks part of stuff to really get that, but it feels like if I were to do a deep dive on that, it would be very questionable.
I think that React itself has a sweet spot, right? And like if you're like building like your 0 to 10, right, which is like your like regular ass website, probably don't need React. But also I think like your like 90 to 100 also suffers.
Yeah.
right? Like there's a level of complexity where it makes sense to, kind of break out of React and just go straight up JavaScript. Um, Especially if you have a lot of things. I think that's where React breaks down a lot, is if you have many things.
Hmm.
Um, Especially many things on screen, that's a lot of operations. Um, I've seen reactive frameworks handle it a little bit better. There's like this is like an idea that people think that React is doing a lot of this optimization for you, but it's not. The onus is on you to do the optimization,
Yeah.
right? So, like if you have to do use memo or use callback or
You get a
any of
bunch of
these
hooks
things,
now, or a bunch of levers, if you will, to kind of control how exactly these things are executing.
yeah, you do. And then you have the dependencies there, and you know that then has an ESLint plugin that's like, you have this variable dependency and it's not in your dependencies thing, so this thing might not update if this isn't in there, right? So it's like it's very much on you to shore all that up if you want it to be fast. um but yeah, I think I think the web itself is pretty slow,
Yeah, yeah. We've kind
at
of
least
become a glutton, if you will, with the amount of speed
I
and memory that we have available.
when I have to do something like truly wild, especially when it has a lot of things on screen, I'll do it in Canvas,
And that makes sense.
straight up.
Okay, so you're familiar enough
Because
to be able to actually do just 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 be able to rip out canvas pretty quickly.
oh yeah,
Okay, because I always have to look it up. I only do it like once every other year, and then I'm like, oh yeah,
I,
what are all the APIs again?
I re-implemented a large portion of the DOM in Canvas,
Hmm.
and that was interesting
Really? So you could
because
have
it's
like
like
you could have HTML to canvas type of thing.
when I did it, I used the React Native API, right? Because I don't think that like HTML, like semantic HTML tags, made a lot of sense for this, but
Mm-hmm.
React Native did because they have view and they have text as their primitives, right? Also, styles are an object format, which allows me to then translate that easier
Yeah.
rather than reading that out. So in React Native format, it was pretty cool. But what's wild is you end up implementing a lot of what the browser does and understanding the browser more as a result. Um, the browser is really just Canvas, right? Like Chrome draws
Yeah.
the web pages in Skia, and
I don't know Skia.
yeah, Skia is like a graphics library in C++, right? What the hell is that? Is that a juice? Are you juicing? Is that a hard lemonade?
Mm. No, it tastes like peanut butter, spinach, a little bit of milk. I don't taste banana in there. There's no banana.
Huh? What a smoothie.
Thank you. It feels good. Tastes good. Makes me feel strong again. Because I was getting a little weak there. Blood sugar was
Yeah.
dropping.
I'm out here tearing up some Deer Park.
What is Deer Park? Is that a vodka?
No, it's water with a mustache.
Why? What? What?
Yeah, I got like a billion of them.
Oh, how did you get? Was that an advertisement? Do I need to hashtag add that?
No, it's not an advertisement. It's just a personal endorsement of Deer Park.
A PD. Wait, PE endorsement. I just stopped on the D. Never.
DP,
DP.
Deer Park.
Deer Park. That's pretty good. So you're actually so do you have like plugins, open source things that you're kind of working on for this whole Canvas revolution, if you will? Because there's like a
No.
lot of stuff going on in this space right now, right? I've heard of I don't know the JavaScript libraries that are doing it, but there are some that are now going towards just using Canvas, right?
I haven't seen that much of it. What I have seen is a lot of WASM, right? And people will do stuff in C or C++, and then it'll go to WebGL. You have things for making games, things like Pixie or 3JS or React 3, which is sick.
What's React
The
3?
React VR, it's like a React interface, so you can declaratively do like a 3JS, kind of like WebGL 3D world stuff.
Oh.
It's very dope. Yeah, that like That runs everywhere too. I think you can hook that into like Expo and stuff.
I know
Which is
none
like
of this world. You're saying a bunch of
React
words
Native.
Oh, okay.
What the hell do you work on?
You know, hey, I'm down in the bits. All right.
Aren't you a JavaScript boy?
I'm down in the bits.
Down in
Deep.
the bits.
Yeah, down in the bits.
But you're a noder.
Not a noter. I wouldn't put myself as a noter. I primarily
Really?
write, yeah. So like, right for the last while, I've been on video and audio stuff. I've been doing a little bit of network protocols, as they call them.
Streaming?
Streaming. You may have heard of streaming. The company I work
Yeah.
for, a little DVD company, ships DVDs
Yeah,
across America.
Little
Company,
DVD.
little startup, you know. And
yeah.
so I do, you know, I've been doing networking for a while, and video and bits and validation, and I write unit tests in C++, which I believe I deserve some sort of award for doing that.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's not easy. C++ tests are not. They're not
But you
beautiful.
primarily write JavaScript.
Not anymore. I'm kind of all over the place.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Do you do any like embedded stuff?
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm doing the ALSA stuff, right? Piping data right into the ALSA get buffer, commit buffer type stuff, where you know the driver underneath, you have to grab out the buffer that you want to fill in the bits, and then you tell it how many frames you've written, and then it runs off and tries to read them. And let's just say I may have underflowed or overflowed or seg faulted a few times, but we got there.
These things happen.
These things happen.
Yeah, so you're in an audio space very similar to the audio space that I'm in. You're just buffer boys.
Yeah, we're just buffer boys. You know, I'm a little bit more familiar with the video, you know, feeding packets in, all that. I'm trying to figure out a way that, you know, because when something goes wrong, how do you not make it terrible for the consumer? And then how do you also build a driver that you're going to hand off to a bunch of partners, like a bunch of other TVs? They're going to be like, hey, fulfill this driver. And they're like, I don't want to have to call you back and tell you stuff about what's happening. You just fix it, right? Just deinitialize it and reinitialize it, right? So it's like this whole, how do you build something that makes any sort of sense? So yeah, like I said, I have no idea what you're doing. You're naming all these fun names. I haven't built a UI in like 5 years.
Oh, I'm just naming all the wild canvas stuff. Well, the thing Skia, right, that they draw Chrome with.
Yeah.
They compiled it to WASM, and they have it in the browser. It's called Canvas Kit, so you can write Skia code. I think that's what Flutter is built on. Do you know about Flutter?
I've heard the name. People talk about Flutter a lot. Is it anything like Figma?
So, no.
Is it like Ligma?
So maybe
it could be.
So it's like React Native, right? Like React Native is it's like bridged into like platform primitives, right? So like if you're on iOS, right, it's going to use like UI views.
Yeah, it's like an abstraction.
If you have like a view tag, it's going to be on top of the platform primitives. Whereas Flutter is just like, we're just going to draw everything. Everything is synthesized, right? It's all just drawables, right? It's like,
okay,
if you were to just draw it in Canvas or just do it in WebGL. So that's like the primary difference. Flutter is also written in Dart, which is why I haven't done much with it, because I refuse to learn Dart.
I don't want to have to learn Dart.
I'm just not going to do that.
You shouldn't.
People are like, why not? Dart's good. I'm like, I'm not going to like no, I'm not going to learn Dart.
Yeah, don't let someone tell you what to do. You live your own. You live your best life right now.
You only have so much RAM, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to put a one language, one framework thing in my RAM. I don't have time for that.
Forget about it, because once those lights go out, that RAM's not going to get recovered anyway. So,
nope,
you don't want that. No, that's very, very true. I feel like, because I get this request all the time, like, why don't you learn Zig or Nim or this or that? Have you heard of Racket? Right? It's just like there's like a billion languages these days that you could learn to do stuff in. But I have this problem where it's just like, well, what's the applicability of it? Like, if I want to learn something, I want to know that I'm learning it where I can actually do something with it. And I don't know if Zig is going to, you know...
I don't even know what that is.
Apparently, so they claim that they're both faster and safer than Rust.
Faster and safer than Rust?
Or just safer. I can't remember which one it was, but they claim they're better than Rust. And then Nim apparently is also better than everything. And every time you bring up the word Nim, people who like Nim are like, Nim. Right? Like, I mean,
you
think the Rustaceans were bad. The ziggers and the nimmers are just like the worst.
Now you're a Vimmer.
I'm a Vimmer. Yeah, I'm a Vimmer, hardcore.
In there, keyboard deep. Weirdo.
Keyboard weirdo. I've been
Have you
known to
seen this
even lick
chord
this
thing?
thing. I will lick this
Oh,
keyboard.
look at that.
Yeah.
Did you see the chord typing thing? I just saw that the other day.
What chord typing thing?
Um,
Links or didn't
it,
happen.
I'll send it to you. It's like these two things you hold in your hands, right? Like this, and then you press like combinations, and you apparently type faster.
Is it like a what's the things called? The people in courtrooms that type. What are they called? Stenograph.
Yes.
Sten something. What is it called?
Yeah, it's like yeah, a stenographer.
Yeah, a stenograph. Yeah, so it's like a stenograph of some sort.
Yeah, some kind of thing. Like I still don't actually understand how it works, but you know, if you like put your thumb over here and go right, it's like it says like where, right? Like I have no idea. Like,
so it's like ASL. You're like it's some form of programming ASL.
Some combination of finger shifting, and it'll just spit out a whole word.
Wow.
Versus each letter. I thought you might be hip to that.
I mean,
I saw that the
be.
other day, and I was like, this is bananas.
The problem with that again is that I already type in Dvorak. By the way, I just say if in case you're wondering, and that makes me utterly useless
You have
on
a
any
wife?
keyboard. I do have a wife, and I have 4 kids, and I type in Dvorak.
Wow.
But and I use
Outlier.
Vim. I know, but I also use Ubuntu, so don't worry. You know, if I were to use Arch, I think I probably wouldn't have had a wife. It'd be a good cat call or a dog whistle of wifelessness, maidenless, as they call it.
Yeah, Ubuntu. I mean, yeah.
You know, it's like the Mac OS of Linuxes.
Yeah. Do you really run Linux?
Yeah, I haven't been on another operating system in a long time.
Wow.
You should try it.
Good for you.
Yeah, no, thank you. So there are
Maybe
some
I
problems.
will.
You know, there are some problems with Linux. You know, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. When things go wrong, they go wrong. You don't have all that. You know, like Mac OS for the most part just kind of works, right? You plug in your headset and it just works. You know, Bluetooth just kind of works. Sometimes, you know, you plug it in a headset into Linux and your kernel panics. You know, you just gotta take a little break.
Listen, my core audio driver fails in Mac like twice a day now.
Okay, so you might actually even maybe Pulse Audio will be better for you.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying. I got a gaming PC over there.
Okay, running Windows.
I've been enjoying it. Running Windows.
Okay, what games are you playing?
Oh man, what am I playing? A lot of VR.
Okay.
A lot of COD.
Beat Saber? You a Beat Saber guy?
No. I was playing. What was the last thing I was playing? I was playing the Half-Life one. Half-Life Alex. That's a wild one.
I don't know that one.
And I was playing The Forest. Have you ever played The Forest?
No, I don't have VR.
You didn't play any games? No.
No, I love games. I love games. I just don't have VR. I'm VR-less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I feel like VRs right now are still like hot tubs. You want a friend with VR.
No, if you get it and you hook it up with the cable, like I was playing like Arizona Sunshine, right, where you're like hanging out in Arizona and there's all these zombies and stuff, and it's pretty tight. Like I sit there and I'll play COD, right, and you're on like a controller and like you're like trying to like move a reticle to like the center of the screen, like trying to get somebody, right?
Yeah.
But in, like Arizona Sunshine, right, I'm sitting here like dropping clips, it's just like
feels natural.
It's really. So there's this Walking Dead game. And it's fantastic because I like on my first playthrough, like you have like a knife or like a screwdriver, you stab in the head, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's unbelievable because you're like stabbing them, right? And you're like, this is crazy. Right?
Yeah.
And you have to like pull it out of their eye socket, right? And you know that's cool and all, but then I found out you can grab their head, which totally changes everything, right? So these zombies are like, just wobble up to you, and you
slow
say,
zombies.
You grab them by the face, right? And you. Right, it's just amazing. Like it's just a whole different dynamic. You could like take them by their head and throw them on the ground like they're a punk. Like,
but if it was real life, would you want to grab a zombie by the head? Because isn't that where the biter is? Like, wouldn't you want to not stay? I mean, want to stay away from that, right?
I mean, if like shooting didn't go so good and they came at me, like I'd definitely grab a piece of head and just like, now that I know,
just work it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
What are you playing? Do you play Elden Ring?
First off, I am trying to become the Elden Lord, and then on top of that, I do play a little bit of Apex.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't see
like
the
Elden Ring.
struggle. I don't see the struggle getting the reticle into the center.
Well, it's not that. It's like that's fine. Like I play COD and deeply enjoy it. But there's something left to be desired after you've had the experience of
Being called racist names on the internet by the COD children.
You got like no in VR, like you have two guns and you're just like pow pow, like
yeah, okay. It's just not as
like you can do some
not as good.
It's just not as expressive, right? I can like put it sideways and talk shit and like
it really lifts you up as the person. All right, so you don't like Elden Ring.
Be me in the game.
Why don't you like Elden Ring?
Just not for me.
Did you try it?
I did.
Okay, and how far did you get?
Like the first board.
Really?
First level.
There's only one level. It's an open.
Really? I didn't know if you beat it or not. I was just like, this sucks, and I turned it off.
You gotta like dodge around. You gotta get a little bit better, and once you get good at that, then it's fun.
Yeah, I like Skyrim. I'm a big fan of Skyrim.
I never played Skyrim.
You never played Skyrim?
I never played Skyrim, but I do enjoy the Skyrim soundtrack.
Skyrim is fantastic. You guys are on live television right
now. Just FYI. Don't worry.
Don't go picking your nose, babe.
Just sometimes you gotta get deep in there. Don't let. Don't stop them.
No,
Well, Ken, this has been awesome. I'm actually a little bit surprised at some of these things. What's up?
What's surprising you?
That this consultant thing. I'm still thinking about it. Like, man, I've never thought of consulting in a positive light. I just always imagine it being terrible.
No, it's pretty cool.
Did you just do drugs again?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Thanks for being honest this time.
Just nicotine.
You know it's gonna kill you, right?
Everything's gonna kill you.
Yeah, but some are faster at it.
I think the whiskey's got that title.
The whiskey's winning the killing award?
That or the sitting?
Yeah, I hear sitting's actually the worst of them all. Like, smoking is not as bad as sitting.
You do a lot of sitting?
I've been known to sit from time to time. Get in there.
Yeah.
I like to spread my body on nothingness.
Comes with the gig, kind of,
Yeah. The problem is that the only thing that really combats it is a walking desk.
Yeah, standing.
Yeah, standing's also.
Can you code while walking?
Yeah, I used to do it.
You can do it.
Yeah, there was a walking desk in my previous job, and I used to do walking and coding, and then I'd also do walking and StarCraft.
Wow.
It was glorious.
Huh.
Yeah, walking is great. Walking is the thing for you.
I can do it, but not for hard problems. For hard problems, like I'm like, all right, dude, put it down, sit in the chair. I'm like, okay.
Really?
Yeah. Like, if I have to like think deeply, I can't do it.
Oh.
I'll trip and fall.
I can't say I had that experience, but now I really want a walking desk. I'm looking around here like, how can I get a walking desk going?
Well, you get a standing desk, and then you put a little treadmill boy underneath it.
I don't even have a stand. I don't have a stand. I have too many cords.
Too many cords for a standing desk? That one's a standing desk.
Let me just. Have you seen? You probably haven't seen what I've done to myself down here. Oh, there's even a dirty ass napkin down there. Oh man, this is gonna be disgusting. Look at that. That is my current.
Oh my god.
This is my current situation. Okay, multiple foot pedals. If you see right here, that's a network switch. Just thrown in there. Just tossed it in.
Huh.
Yeah.
What are the foot pedals for? Like going flipping around streaming?
It was for a Discord mute, and the other one is because I wanted to try it out, and it turns out feet are just too slow to keep up.
A Discord what?
A Discord mute, a little mute button, so that way I can press it and start talking, and then I can let go of it. And
You
then
actually participate on Discords?
from time to time. Is a man not allowed to be on Discord?
I know. I just always wondered how that worked. Like I got in a couple of them with like crypto stuff,
Yes,
and like you go in,
you don't want to do
like,
that.
I'm like, whoa, okay, I've had enough of this.
Yeah, no. Discord, crypto Discord is the best place to learn about terrible investing.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, even all of my terrible stock choices for 2022 are less bad than whatever you hear inside of a crypto Discord.
Yeah, I hopped out of there pretty quickly.
Smart
It's
man.
like a COD lobby.
It is a COD lobby, you know. And if you
It's
know,
an absolute COD lobby.
it is a COD lobby. You know, people don't really know about the COD lobbies.
No,
No.
I love when 9-year-olds call me an asshole.
And that's a tame COD lobby. The COD 2, that was like that was those are serious lobbies.
Oh, you want to hear something amazing? So there's this VR game, right? And it's multiplayer, and it's like Rocket League, right?
Okay.
But instead of a car, right, you shoot the ball with a bow and arrow, right?
That seems fun.
And then like you're sliding around, like you like have like an ice pick, and you're like sliding, right? That's how you get around. Like you like grab and pull, and it's like you're on ice, so you're like sliding, right? Like you're constantly like sliding,
Yeah.
and then you just hutu shoot hutu, right? Like doing everything like that. So like it's a lot. Like you're doing that to like move, and then you're like hitting these bow shots and everything. So there's like this lobby, right? And you're sitting there, and I'm playing it, right? And you play these games, and they're fucking intense, dude. I'm playing it for like, I don't know, like it's like a 6-minute match, and this little kid that is playing it, he goes, "Why the fuck are you breathing so hard?"
Oh no! Getting caught in VR.
I was like, oh, I've been outed as fat and elderly.
Do you see what I'm doing? Do you see this ice pick action? Okay, it's tiring.
Yeah, it was so funny. Like I was in another game, and I heard this dude huffing and puffing. I'm like, "What are you, like 36?" He's like, "Yeah." Like, me too.
I'm right there with you. Oh, that feels bad. That actually feels bad. I really want to try it now. So you're telling me you're not hitting that Peloton? You're not staying in shape? You're not?
Oh yeah. No, you just can't. You can't outrun a bad diet.
Your bad diet being, of course, your nicotine and Jack, whiskey.
Yeah. Whiskey. Yeah. Strong as heck. Doing high intensity
hit
interval workouts,
training
3-4 days a week. That's right.
Damn.
Just you just can't outrun the bad diet. I'm out here with steaks and whiskey and
it's just the end.
Sitting and programming.
Yeah. We could put that on the T-shirt. Can't outrun a bad diet, and got to go deep.
You can't
fast.
go deep. Deep and fast.
Yeah.
Deep with speed.
You gotta pick two.
What was the quote?
I don't even know, but it had something to do with deep and speed. That's all I remember.
Depth, speed, girth. Pick two.
The depth, speed, girth triangle. It's a real triangle out there.
It's an algorithm.
It's not as good as the conjoined triangles of success by Action Jack, but it's pretty good.
We're gonna have merch.
We're gonna have merch.
Do you have merch?
I do. I do have one piece of merch. I'm not wearing it today.
I figured like you're like all YouTubey twitchy, right? You should have merch.
I do have one piece of merch. It's just one piece of merch. Okay, it's not a lot, just a little.
Is it a shirt?
It is a hoodie that's black on black, and it says JavaScript sucks.
Really?
Black on black. Yeah.
I need one.
It's awesome. Yeah. Shop.theprimegen.tv.
Let's get it.
Did
you ever see my YouTube?
No. Please. Do you have CringeTube or YouTube? What do you got?
I have YouTube, and it's like the worst. I gave a series of really bad Canvas tutorials.
That's your claim to fame?
Yup.
Apparently your talks are the best. So your talks are the best, but your YouTubes are the worst?
I mean, they're funny. they were like really low quality. I didn't have this whole thing figured out.
Yeah. The YouTube game is hard. The YouTube game is hard. But people are saying
like I had gotten everything like all put together. Like I got like the microphone and the Elgato lights and the camera and everything like that. And then I got told that I wasn't allowed to do content from like a contractual kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I guess I won't then. But if I find myself on the other side of that contract someday, it's just going to be real high resolution, high energy YouTubing.
So even if you're doing something completely unrelated, you just can't make videos? Can't even make beats? Kenny Beats?
Nope. I could put little beats on Instagram.
Okay, so you could become a TikToker.
Yeah, I could become a TikToker.
Why don't you get one? Oh, can you play that again for us really quickly?
Do you know what that is?
No.
Let me just unplug a thing right quick.
Yeah.
This. Is an Akai.
Oh, I've seen those. Neon Vine, I think, uses one of those.
They're fantastic.
What? Give us something really quickly on it. Give me something. I want to hear it.
I don't.
Come on, you must have practiced it. I know you've slapped your little fingers around on that for a while.
I mean, yeah, I don't think anything's like loaded.
Putting him on the spot. He can't handle it.
See. Oh, I can handle it.
Oh gosh, I'm on knees and elbows all of a sudden.
Oh, knees and elbows. What do we got here?
All right, coconut oil. Let's just give us the coconut oil. Coconut oil. Give me that too. I want that.
What is this coconut oil?
What is that from? So have you ever seen Bulletproof Coffee?
Yes.
Okay, so when I watched the intro ad for Bulletproof Coffee, the guy's like, "Have you ever wanted a creamy, smooth, delicious cup of coffee?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do. I want that." He's just like, "The best coffee I've ever had is with MCTs." I'm like, "Medium chain triglycerides. Put me in the game, coach." He's like, "Coconut oil is the greatest thing ever." I'm like, "Ew." So I put it in my coffee. It wasn't creamy. It would just taste like a coconut. But I mean, but they're all about it, right? Bulletproof Coffee is all about that coconut oil. And I remember going, man, that's ridiculous. But they sell it like it's the greatest thing ever. So I started wanting my Vim development to be coconut oil driven development, right? It is the greatest thing ever. It's an SPF.
So you do Bulletproof Coffee?
I used to, yeah. Now I just rub the coconut oil on me. That's how I keep these hands so baby smooth. Ooh, is that Squid Games?
Yeah. But But yeah, back to MCT oil.
Yeah. People are all about it. So
that didn't make you crap your brains out?
I did. Yeah, one time I had too much MCT oil at Netflix. I remember I was programming. I got into the office, had a steaming hot cup of coffee of some MCT oil, threw it in there. It's so good. And I was sitting there programming. I'm into it. I'm getting into it. I'm bouncing on my ball. I'm really into it. And then they'll just stop mid-bounce and realize that if someone is in the bathroom, I'm shitting in the sink. Like, this is, like, it all of a sudden, it took a solid turn from excitement into not excitement. I was promised levity. I was given something much different. And so I run to the bathroom, and I had to go like 9 times because of it. It was just like, so I was very disappointed on it. But you know what I found out? Oh, yeah, go on.
No, I was going to say, like, did you do the whole thing? Like, it's not just the MCT oil in the coffee. You need to do the grass-fed butter and do it in a blender and shit. Did you do all that?
Kerrygold. I still have Kerrygold to this day.
Wow, you were really about it.
I loved it, yeah. Big fan.
You were in the true poop zone.
I was in it. I was deep. My wife went full keto. She even hit ketosis.
Really?
Yeah. We got into it for a moment.
As verified by strips?
Yeah. She literally did the blood thing. And I was just like, babe, you crossed the line, I'm not going to do. Not going to do it.
Whoa, like testing blood?
Yeah. That's like how you really know you're in ketosis. Yeah, I ain't about that. I couldn't do that. I could not do that. But anyway, so I loved this coconut oil thing. I was always so about it. And then about 6 months ago, someone ruined it for me.
Go on.
I learned in the more deeper parts of the anime world that coconut oil does not refer to the glories of medium chain triglycerides, but semen.
Coconut oil.
Coconut oil.
Why?
And so when I'm getting covered in that sweet coconut oil, very much so changes the meaning. And it's just like, I can't be out there getting facials every day on YouTube. I had to change it. It hurts my feelings.
I just don't understand why coconut is the go-to for that. Coconut oil is delicious.
It is. It's good. It's because it's smooth as eggs. I think that's the problem.
But coconut oil doesn't smell like bleach.
I understand. It's different. It's just a different. It's a different thing out there.
Do you eat pineapple?
No. Why?
Start.
Sure, I eat pineapple.
Just eat some pineapple. Take my word for it.
I was really hoping it was going to turn into a D's Nuts joke. I'm actually really disappointed that this did not.
No.
This was supposed to end on a D's Nuts joke.
You got me pretty good on Twitter.
I did. In fact, I got you so good you deleted the tweet.
I deleted the tweet for a different reason, but yeah.
Yeah, I was really sad about that because that fitness joke, fitness podcast in your mouth, it was pretty good.
That was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. People stop.
I don't get got like that very often.
Yeah, it's understandable. I mean, most people who get got like that usually drive Nissans. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't drive a Nissan.
Really? Your Nissan aren't on the ground sucking this dick?
That's a new one for me.
That's a new one? Well, you're going to be dying of ligma multiple times today then.
I know about ligma.
Yeah.
The Nissan, that's
Nissan, ligma, Sugma, Sagandis. And there's a lot of them.
Two CDs.
Yeah, I give you 2 CDs.
Yeah. There's quite a few.
There's quite a few.
Nissan. Wow, that's a new one.
Yeah. I got had by that one, so I understand.
I can't wait to put that into play.
You can do it, especially. You can just be like, especially someone that likes cars. Oh, man, have you seen the new Nissan? Nissan? And bam! Leave them dead. Ligma, dying in the street. Blood. Be fantastic. All right. We gotta end this. It's time to end this. We've been going now for about an hour and a half. I appreciate you. I appreciate it all the time. So Ken Wheeler, Dr. Ken Wheeler, where can we find you at?
On Twitter.
Okay.
Ken_Wheeler.
Can we get a link? Oh, nice. There we go. Theo's doing it right now. Theo, yes. Yeah, huge shout out to Ken. Ken,
wow.
You've done a lot with I've seen you done a lot with a lot of the talks out there. Do you want your YouTube linked? What do you want in here? What do you want linked in here?
Let's do thekenwheeler.beatstars.com. That's where the beats are.
Wait, hold on. Whoa. Say that again.
I'll put it in the
Wheeler
chat here.
Yeah. Do that. Put it in the chat.
The Ken Wheeler.
Yeah.
Beatstars.com.
Oh, you have a linker tree. There you go.
Yeah, I got a link tree.
You got an OnlyFans. I'm clicking that right now. What's on this thing? Looks like I too just died of ligma.
Yes, you did.
Damn, you got me right at the end. Oh, but the best. Wrecked. Oh my goodness, that hurts a little bit.
The cat out of the bag here.
I know. Everyone's gonna know all about that. You've played your part in that one.
Yeah.
That hurt. You
might be the first person to discover that. To be honest with you,
you don't have you didn't Bitly it.
I've never gotten feedback that anybody got before.
Well, you got feedback live in front of all the peoples, so I appreciate that. Thanks for doing that to me. Oh, this has been a lot of fun. It has
been.
You taught me some things.
Did I?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it feels good. The more you know,
Knowledge is power.
Yeah. Hey, if you're ever out in the Midwest, you may have heard of it. I know you're from the East Coast, so you probably don't believe that it exists, but there's actually this really large section of contiguous land between California and New York called not California and New York, and a section of that's called the Midwest. I'm from there. And if you ever happen to stop flying and land, South Dakota.
Okay.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time in Chicago. Does that count?
No. Chicago doesn't count.
Okay.
Yeah, Chicago and Texas are the two allowable places in the middle of the United States via East Coast standards. Yeah. You've heard of Texas though, right?
Yeah. I have.
Okay. Yeah. Texas is pretty popular.
Yeah.
So I hope you have fun there in Jersey. I assume everyone from Jersey says Jersey, right?
Nobody says Jersey, but we say coffee.
You say coffee? Isn't there like a phrase? There's a phrase. People, I had a Bostonian tell me this phrase. Maybe you can try to help me with it. But it's something. It goes something along the lines of, we don't say our R's because we say them somewhere else. Have you heard this? I've been wanting to find out. Yeah, R's. You know, because they pack.
Well, Boston. Boston says like "ca."
Yeah, I know. They lose all their R's, and there's some way they make it back up, and a weird word that they add an R to. I don't know.
Is it like the English, how they say like saw, but they say like saw?
Yeah, something like that.
On it?
Yeah, there's like a weird one. Nothing's worse though than warsh. That one is a weird one. Have you heard that? People say that. Washington?
How do you say what comes out of the faucet?
Water.
Do you? You really say that?
Yeah. It's really standard South Dakota talk is water. Spelled with two D's.
You say water?
And an A. Yes, I call it
water.
Say
water?
Water.
Like more wood than wood? Water?
No, I call it water.
Water?
Yeah, with a T.
You say, I could go for a glass of water.
And I also say sandwich as well. Do you hear that D in there?
Sandwich?
I say sandwich.
I don't even... do you know that I say library?
I say motorcycle.
Motorcycle?
Yeah. I know there's these weird things that get stuck in your head. Yeah, another classic one on our side is library. By the way, that's terrible. Library. What happened? Yeah. What happened to you as a child?
Library?
You want to go down to the library?
You say library. Yeah, exactly. Just like that, the library.
Yeah, exactly. You nailed it. It's almost like you knew it. But something that happens in the Midwest, one of our little slips is go to. So I'm going to go to the store. A go to. I don't know what a go to is. I'm going to go to the store.
I don't understand.
Instead of I'm going to go to the store, I'm going to go to. I'm going to go to the store really quickly.
But you don't say the store. You just say I'm going to go to.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying that for emphasis. Go to. Right? That's not a word. I'm going to go to the store really quickly.
We say go to.
Yeah, you go to the store?
We say go to.
I want to go to the store. Yeah, I know. It's weird.
Go to the store.
Weird one. Anyways, all right. This is way too much. We got to end it here. This is inappropriate at this point. Fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's obscene.
All right. Well, either way,
sir, you have a lovely Friday.
Hey, thank you. You have a lovely Friday. Try not to have too many whiskeys tonight. Let's get that fitness going.
I'll see what I can do.
By the way, I will say one last thing. I do have so if you ever do come out here, I have a very solid source of Blanton's and Buffalo Trace.
Is that right?
Yeah, on the regular.
I'm booking the next flight.
I know. So I believe I have two bottles of Blanton's right now, and I think 1 or 2 of Buffalo Trace.
Well, they'll be gone.
They'll be gone. You bring the ice.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bring the whiskey.
I don't drink it with ice.
Oh, okay. Okay, tough guy.
Maybe once in a while if it's like an old fashioned or something.
That's not even. Why would you?
I drink it out of the bottle. I have a problem.
That is a problem. That is a serious problem. I can't fit ice in the bottle. All right, get out of here. That's enough of this. All right,
I'll see you, buddy.
Hey, thanks for coming on Dev Hour number 2.
Thanks for having.
Hey, bye-bye.